Hi again, our dear students. It is the unit number 3. It is about the communicative competence and the language skills. In this unit, you have to take into account about how to develop the communicative competence in your students. For that reason, you can take and discuss about the activities and the strategies for all the listening, speaking, reading, and writing abilities. For that reason, I will invite you to visit our virtual campus to debate about some arguments, some ideas about it. Okay, welcome to the Unit 3.
Good morning, dear students. It's a pleasure to see you again. And now, today we are going to analyze and discuss an important public document called Standards for Foreign Language Teaching, designed by the Ministry of Education in Colombia. These standards are based on the Common European Framework Reference Language. In this chart, we can see that there is a classification of the standards. On your left, you can see the classification according to the Common European Framework. And on the right, you can see the classification about standards of Colombia. On the left, you can see the first level, that is A1, that in Colombia is called beginner. The second level is A2, similar to basic in Colombia. The third level is B1, equivalent to pre-intermediate. B2, similar to intermediate. C1 is the same in Colombia, that is called pre-advanced. And finally, the C2 level, that is equal to advanced in Colombia. Now we are going to see the structure of basic standards for foreign language teaching in Colombia. The main word or main aspect that is the base of this structure is the standard. What is a standard? A standard is a public criteria that help us to identify our students' performance. This standard is classified in general standard and specific standard. The general standard describes the student's proficiency level in a foreign language in a specific level. The specific standard is defined as a student's evidence in his or her performance in the development of language skills. It's very important to show that specific standards are focused or are written according to the development of receptive skills, that are listening and reading, and the productive skills, writing and speaking. It's very important to take into account that the main objective of Ministry of Education in Colombia, and we as teachers, is that we must develop our students' communicative competence. This communicative competence is integrated by 3 competences. The first one is the linguistic competence, the second is the pragmatic competence, and the third is sociolinguistic competence. Linguistic competence, it helps us to know what our students know about grammatical, lexical, and syntactical aspects. The pragmatic competence, it allows us how our students use or apply their knowledge in a foreign language. In other words, in Spanish we say saber hacer. For this competence, it's important that our students develop their discourse competence, and the discursive competence, and the functional competence. Finally, the sociolinguistic competence is very important because this competence allows us to put in practice the principle know to be. In Spanish is more known saber ser, because when you learn a foreign language, you learn the language, but at the same time you learn some traditions, sociocultural events from other countries.
Hello, our students again. After the explanation about the communicative competence and the general aspect about the Colombian standards for the teaching language, now we are going to talk about the structure of the standards. In this case, at the top of the page, you have to see the general standards. It is about that the Colombian students must know to do at the end of the course. Okay. In the middle of the paper, we can see 2 columns on the left and 3 columns on the right. On the left, we can see 2 abilities. In this case, it is the receptive abilities. It is divided in listening and reading. On the left, we can see the productive skills. In this case, there are 3 abilities: writing, monologues, and conversation. At the end of the paper, we can see the communicative competence. This competence is divided in 3 subcompetences. In this case, linguistic competence. In this sense, the students know about the grammar rulers. And the second subcompetence is the pragmatic. It is about the use of the language by the students. And then finally, the third, it is about the sociolinguistic competence. In this case, the students give the importance about the traditional events of the region. In general, we can see all the paper. Don't forget to take an account. At the top of the paper, you can find the general standards and the group of the levels. And the middle of the paper, we can see the specific standards. These specific standards are divided in 3: conceptual, procedural, and aptitude. In this case, you can see all the specific standards about all language skills. In this case, the reading, the listening, the speaking, and the writing. At the final of the paper, you can see the communicative competence. In this case, the linguistic competence, the pragmatic competence, and the sociolinguistic competence. Don't forget to take an account with, as English teacher, don't forget to develop the communicative competence with any strategies, activities. In this case, the student can express your emotions, your feelings, opinions, and thoughts. Okay? See you later.